Hello everyone, myself Devi Parvathi, working as the Assistant Professor in Marri Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. Today I am going to discuss about that HTML forms topic in web technology subject. HTML forms. All of you know about that forms. We are using different forms. We are filling that so many forms in manually or in online. So that forms can be in online. The forms data can be submitted to the server. What we are filling the data, what the user filling the data, that can be submitted to the server. So the definition of that form is, the form is used to collect user input. The user input can then be sent to the server for processing. What are the data given by that user? The data can be sent to the server. The syntax of the form is, first open that form tag, and then here what are the form elements we are using. That form elements can be using here. Then we can be define the form element here, then close the form. So in this is we are using that form elements. We are using so many form elements are there. That means mainly we are using text fields, radio buttons, check boxes, and buttons, etc. First we will see that input element. The input element can be used for to display that several ways. It can be depending on the type attribute. That can be input, what we are giving that input, that can be used by this input element. It is the most important element in that form element. In this different elements are that means it can be depending on the type attribute. What we are giving that attribute, based on the type attribute, it can be depending. First one, in this one we are using the text attribute. So it can be defined that single line text input field. Next, radio. It can be defined that radio buttons for selecting many choices. So radio buttons means you can have to select that only one choice. Many choices are there, you have to select that only one choice. Next, here input type equals to submit. That submit button can be used for the submitting that form data to the server. So this is that input element. So in this is input element, there are different elements, different attributes we are using. So first one we will see that text fields. The text fields syntax is input type equals to, we are defining input type equals to text. It can be a single line input field for the text input. It means what are the input we are giving only in that single line, we are using these text fields. So see this example. First of all, form tag, defining that form tag, open that form tag. Then label for equals to fname. So label for what we are giving, what is the label we are defining. So that label for fname, that name is fname we are giving for identification of that server identification. Then this is that first name is, it can be displayed for that client. See here output will be like this. So first name, it should be visible for client first name. Then label close. Again input type equals to text. Input type is, we are using the text boxes for giving that input. So that's why we are giving that input type equals to text. That id equals to fname. So fname, label name we are giving id equals to fname. So why you are giving this id is, we are changing that text fields, we are giving that any colors, background colors like that. Then we are giving this identification id name. So the same id name should be given for that label also. Then name is fname, that name is fname. So then for that first name, it will be creating like this. This is that text field. This is text field. In this one, you have to enter that data. You have to give that input. So what you want to give, then it should be given in this text field. The next label we are designing. Next label for last name, L name. We are taking that label name is L name. Next, this is for last name. We are giving that name, that is last name. That should be visible for that client. Then text field we are creating, input type equals to text, id is L name, and name equals to L name. So here you have to give this data. input. What is the user want to give? Then you have to give this input. ABC, first name is ABC, then last name is DEF, like that you have to give the input. Next one, label element. So in this previous example, we are using this label element. Why we are using this label element? So label element, how it can be useful? So label element can be defines that label for many form elements. So many form elements are there. What we are using these different form elements. So this is used in those form elements. It can be useful for screen reader users, because the screen reader will read out that loud the label when the user is focused on that input element. So it can be read out that user's data. So that's why the label element can be using, and it can be also helpful for the users difficulty clicking on that very small reasons. So that means, for example, in that such radio buttons or check boxes we are using, in that radio buttons the users can be choose only one option, and check boxes you have to using that so many options you have to select. So in that cases the label element can be useful for the users. And next, for attribute of the label tag should be equals to the ID attribute of the input tag and bind together. So both can be bind together, and label tag and ID. ID in that input tag can be same name we have to given. In the previous example we see this one. Here label name is F name, and same like that in input field ID is also same F name. So both are same. This is that label element used in that input field. So next elements, radio buttons. So the radio buttons can be defined like this. The syntax of the radio buttons, input type equals to radio. So it can be defined that radio buttons. You have to select that only one option. Users can be select that only one option in that many number of choices. See this example. Here form, open that form tag. Next, input type equals to radio. So ID equals to male. Name equals to gender, value is male. So this is the syntax. Input for that radio buttons, input type equals to radio. Radio we are using, type is radio, and ID is male, and name is gender. So output is first gender. It will be displayed that name is gender, that value is male. First button male. So label for male. Then next one, we are using female. Then input type equals to radio, ID equals to female, and name is gender, same gender name is there, and value is female, that radio button value. So label for that female. So it should be, what is the label name we are giving, that one it should be visible to the user, female. So next one, others also we are taking same like this. So the users in this is that output of this example. So then you have to select that choice, the radio buttons. You have to click on this one. Then it will be, this data can be sent to the, whenever you are using the submit button, this data should be sent to the server. So next one, submit button. So this is can be defined like this. Input type equals to submit. This can be submitting the form data to the form handler. So it can be submit the data to the server. So in this server, your form handler is there. So this data can be submitted to the form handler. So this form handler is typically a page on the server with a script for processing that input data. So it can be, this form handler is used for that processing that input data. Then this can be specified that very form action attributes. This form handler is specified in that form action attributes. In that one we are using that action attributes. See this example, see this example. Form action equals to action page dot php. First form action. So action will be performed. Here action will be performed, action page dot php. Whenever you are submitting this form, then it will be goes to the action page dot php. So label for first name. So first name, we are defining that first name. The input type equals to text. Same in previous example we are discussed, same example. The next label for that L name, last name. Next input type equals to text. ID equals to L name and name equals to L name. Value is John Doe. So first name and input type equals to submit button. So here the output should be like this. First name. So text field. That value already we are given John. Next last name. Text field. So here we are using that break tag. Why we are using this break tag? So break tag should be, it will be goes to the next line. So if we are does not using this break tag, then it should be, so both are like this. So that's why we are using this break tag. So beside, so for that first field, then it will be beside of that next field also, same beside of that first field. So that's why we are using this break tag. It will be goes to the next field, next line. So next last name is, last name value is Roy we are giving. So we are using submit button. So submit button. So whenever click on this submit button, this data, what is the data we are given, what is the values we are giving that for the first name and last name, it should be submitted to the form handler. That means server. So in this example, we are using this action attribute. So this action attribute can be defines that action to be performed when the form is submitted. So usually form data is sent to the page on the server when the users click on this submit button. So whenever we are clicking on this submit button, then that data can be sent to the server. So see here in that above example, the data should be sent to the server page that is called action page.php. So in this one, we are using that action page.php in this previous example. So the data should be sent to the action page.php. So this page contains that server side script. It can be handles that form data. So this is has that server side script. Then in this page, another scripts also in the script is there, that is server side script. So this is that syntax of that form action attribute. Form action equals to action page.php. So next one, target attributes. In this phase, in this form, so we are using target attribute also. This target attribute specifies that submit that if the submitted result will be open in that new browser tab or another current window. So that means another tab or current window. It will be specifies that it will be opening that same browser or that new browser, same browser or new browser. So the default value of the target attribute is underscore self. It can be defines that underscore self, which means the form will be submitted in that current window only, same window, that the form will be submitted in that current window. If you want to submit that form in that the result will be open in that new browser, then we can be using this underscore blank. The value should be underscore blank. Then that the result form should be open in that new browser tab. See this example. Form action equals to action page.php, target equals to underscore blank. So now this is should be open in that new browser window. So others also we are using other values also there, underscore parent, underscore stop also we are using in this target attribute. So next attribute is method attribute. So in that method attribute specifies HTTP method. Which method we are using for that HTTP? Get method or post method we are using. There are two methods are there, get method and post method. It should be when we are submitting that form data, we are using this method. So use that get method when the submitting the form. The example will be like this. Form action equals to action page.php. So method is get. So when we are using this get method and when we are using this post method. So get method by default, get method can be there. That form whenever we are submitting that form, then it should be in by default get method. But why we are using this get method? So by default. So in this get method, whenever we are using this get method, the form data is visible in this page address field. So in that web browser's address field, the form data should be visible. What are the data we are given. For example, we are giving that first name and last name John and Doy, then it should be visible in this web browser's data. In that web browser's data, John, Doy, like this, that form data should be visible in that web browser's address field. What is the address field is there? In that one, it should be visible. So whenever we are using this get method, it should be visible. So whenever we are using this post method, then it should not be visible in that address field. That means web browser's address field should not be visible. Whenever we are using confidential data, what is the usernames, passwords we are using, then we have to choose this post method. It should be always the post method if the form data contains the sensitive or personal information. Whenever we are using the personal information and sensitive information, then you have to choose this post method. The post method does not display form data in that page address field. And here the post method, in that post method there is no size limitations, and it should be sends that larger amounts of data. And the form submissions with the post method cannot be bookmarked. So in that get method, it should be only used for the smaller sizes. So small size data it should be sent. But in that post method, there is no size limitations. So that is the difference between that get method and post method. And in that get method, it should be visible in that address field, but in that post method it should not be visible in that address field. So that's why mostly we are using that sensitive information, or we are sending the sensitive information or password, anything, then we have to choose this post method. So next one, what are the elements we are using these HTML forms? The first one, input element, I already discussed in this previous slide. So this can be useful for that, most useful for that form element in that input field. It should be displayed in several ways depending on that type attributes. But depending on the type attribute, it should be useful. So for example, see, input type equals to text, ID equals to first name, and name equals to first name. So it should be the input type is text. So that's why text means text field. That attribute is text field. So next element is select element. So select element can be defined as that drop down list. All of you know drop down list, like this it should be. And whenever you are clicking on this list, then those are all the options should be like this coming. So here example, in this example, we are using that select ID equals to cars. So different cars, different cars names we are using. So name equals to cars. So option value, what are the options we are using? Cars names. We are giving that option with option element. We are using this option element. Option value equals to Volvo. So this is Volvo, Saab, and Fiat, and Audi. So whenever you are clicking on this drop down list, then these options will be coming like this. Then you have to choose one option. You have to choose any one option like this. You are click on this option, then it should be selected using select element. Next one, option element. In previous example, we are using that option element. So option element defines that options that can be selected. What are the options we have to select? Then those options should be defined by this option element. So by default, first element, first item. What are the first item or first item is there? First option is there. That should be in the drop down list. That should be selected first. If you want to pre-selected option, if to define that pre-selected option, if you want to fix any option, then it should be add that select attribute to that option. So see this example, option value Fiat, selected Fiat option. So it should be fixed. Fiat should be fixed in this drop down list. So next element is text area. So this in previously we are discussed the text field. So in that one only single line input should be given. So in this text area element, the multi-line input field, it is that multi-line input field. You have to give multiple input. That means multiple lines. So you have to enter that multiple lines of data. So example, text area name equals to message. You have to give in this name is message. Then rows is 10 and columns is 30. So here I'm giving this information. The cat was playing in the garden. So this is the message. What I want to print. Then that can be given here. Close this text area. So next in this one, so we are using this rows and columns. The rows attribute specifies that visible number of lines in the text area. How many number of lines you want to give? How many number of lines? 1, 2, 3, like this. So next columns attribute specifies that width of the text area. What is the width? So this width can be defined based on these columns. So how much you have to give? Then you want to increase that width, then you have to give 50, 60, like that. So then it should be output will be using this. Output should be print like this. The cat is playing in the garden. So this is that text area. So next one is button. So button element. So in that button element defines that clickable button. Whenever you are clicking on that button, then the data should be sent to the server, submitted to the server. So in this example, button type equals to button, and on click alert the message hello world and click me. So this type is button. This type is button, and in that button you are giving that one button name click me. So whenever click on this button, then it gives that alert message like this, hello world. So whenever click on this button, then it gives that alert message, one message. It should be visible to the user. Next element is field set and legend element. So field set element can be used for the group that related data, form related data. What is the form? So in that form, what is the data we are giving? That can be grouped by this field set element. So legend element can be defines that caption for that field set element. What is that grouped data? Then it should be gives that caption for that. For giving that caption for that grouping data, we are using that legend element. See this example. Form action equals to action base PHP. Then field set field we are opening. Then in that one legend field personalia. So personalia is that caption. So we are giving that caption for using legend tag. So legend tag open, personalia, and legend tag close. Next label for F name, first name, and input type equals to text. We are using this text field. Here we are using text field. Next one, next label is L name, last name. Then here also we are using the text field. That value also we have to give in John and Doy. Then input type equals to submit button. Then field set close. Then form also close. So here you also observe all the tags, all the elements. What are the elements we are using this form? All have that closed tags, but only input tag. So input tag only open, not closed tag is there for that input element. So this output will be like this. First name, text field. So in that one, we are giving the value John, and last name Roy. Then here submit button. So whenever click on the submit button, then the data should be grouped by this field set element. So the data is grouped. First name and last name should be grouped in that one. It can be stored in that one place. So this is that field set and legend element. So these are the total elements we are using in that form elements. So first one form tag. What are the tags we are using that form elements? Those are all tags should be here. So form tag defines that form for user input. It can be defined that form. First, it can be opened with form. If you want to create a one form, it should be opened with that form tag. Then in that form tag, input tag. In that input tag, what is the attribute you want to use? Then you have to use these all attributes. So input tag can be defines that input control. Next text area tag can be multiple input control. That means in that text means only single one. but in the text area means multiple lines input. Next, label tag can be label for that input element. Next, field set tag. Field set tag is group related elements. It can be in that form. It can be group the data. Next, lesson. It defines the caption for that field set element. Next, select. It defines the drop down list. It selects that any one option. Next, opt group means it can be group of related options in the drop down list. Group of related options. Next, option defines that option in the drop down list. How to choose any option, one option. Next, button. It can be clickable button. Whenever you are using this, click on this button, then the data should be submitted to the server. Next, data list is specifies list of predefined options for input controls. Next, output defines result of calculation. So these are the form element tags used in that HTML form. So you have to create a one form, then you are using these all the elements. So many elements are there, different elements. Only what are the important elements in that form, that only I told you in this class. Okay, these are the references, and thank you.